So it has two configurations, long line, short line. Can't go anywhere in between. We have another pedestal like the one from the first area. Curious. So I can click on... That's supposed to be the symbol for the sun, I believe. Not sure about the other one entirely. Okay, so Saturn, Jupiter, those are all the core planets. The scale is incomprehensible. Oh. Are we looking at a combination? It seems like everything else is a toggle, but these two are binary. You pick one or the other. I think that's the staircase I came from. There's another one, but there's a gate over it. Curious. It'd be so easy to get past that gate. Table? Nope. We're not here to look at tables. So I must need a specific configuration, right? But how do I tell? Oh. The inner planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. The outer planets: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Collectible posters of space. Get fucked, Pluto. You don't get to count. Because they found bigger things than you. Like multiple ones. So do I need to leave and find a key, or is there something I can do? Is there a basis for figuring out this combination? If I tell it to activate, nothing seems to change. Maybe I need to pick 4 of them? Let's turn on Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. So you turn off. Okay, so now it's just the inner planets. And the sun is the innermost place, so now can I change it? That's exactly what it was, apparently. So that allows me to zoom in on the sun. For some reason. Didn't really plan past that point, but okay. Hello, Earth. Look how colorful and pretty you are. Everything else is... orange? Hi. Mercury, Venus, Mars. Now the question is, why did I do that? And what have I accomplished? Good question. I don't think I can look at any of them. These holograms. Yeah, this one shows 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4 systems. The journal talks about visualizing the journey from Jupiter. Like maybe I need to do Jupiter and Earth? So Jupiter's the 4. Should be one more. There's Mars. Okay. So now it's just Jupiter and Earth, which are fittingly on opposite sides of the room if we're trying to symbolize the journey these guys apparently made. So now... Okay. Now another light has lit up. Oh, weird. Is that what you meant by hot Jupiter? Jupiter's in the inner planet, Earth is the outer planet? I think I'm supposed to follow the story. So I've done part 1 and part 3, apparently. I'm missing another part. Let's re-examine. They came from a star far away around which orbits a hot Jupiter, and a single rocky planet not unlike our own. So that's the whole... Oh yeah! This thing right here, this H-looking symbol, is the... That must be their star, the symbol for their star. And that's what their solar system looks like. In which case I might need to find like a key. Because look at this. 1, 2, 3. The third button is apparently a keyhole. So I probably need a key in order to access this 4th slot, I think. I'm not sure what else I'd go by besides that. The main other thing that's worth checking is just the idea that, like... I could just do the gas giants, I suppose. Maybe the key doesn't matter yet. So I did narrow. So wide is probably what I want for you. Let's turn the gas giants on. They're easy to pick out because they're usually the ones with the slightly weirder symbols. And you, I suppose. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be all of them. Set it to wide. Oh, wait, you. Because I had it marking the wrong solar system still. Hi. R.I.P. inner planets. Oh, what have I done? So we're seeing them leave their solar system, go past all of our big planets, then slowly arrive at our core planets to get to Earth. So the key is not needed to continue, which just raises the question of where you get the key and what the key does. Also, this electrician dude that we're playing as must be freaking the fuck out right now, because what in the world does anything have to do... Like, we were just trying to deal with, like, a signal problem. 4x4 grid of dots, another fidget spinner, these things, another thing I can't open yet. Curious. There's an orange light over there that's bothering me, because I think it's going to be a constellation thing, naturally. It's my first response to every orange light, even though some of them are just lights, because lights happen. Yeah, that's probably... Yeah, that's just a lantern shining through behind the boxes, I think. Hello? 3. That's gotta be important. Taking a quick picture of that one. Just gonna mark it as the Roman numeral 3. Okay. I don't even know what to make of that one, but I'm gonna take a picture of it too. So the top half is clearly a waveform. The bottom one I'm slightly more confused about. Now this looks like one of the constellations we could make in the constellation room, so maybe I need to make a specific number of constellations in a specific order? Is that Micromegas again? Micromegas is a 1752 short, yep. That's Micromegas just on its back. He has an alarming number of copies of the same books, just generally. I kind of worry about him a little bit. Another one, ooh. So this one can be rotated. Oh, weird. Weird. So it looks like whatever symbols you have on this thing give you a 6-digit number. But we need to figure out what that even refers to still. But it's another wheel being recontextualized again. Another copy of Micromegas. Again. Okay. I do not understand Greek very well, said the giant. Neither do I, said the philosophical mite. Why then, the Syrian retorted, are you citing some man named Aristotle in the Greek? Because, replied the savant, one should always cite what one does not understand at all in the language one understands the least. The Cartesian took the floor and said, the soul is a pure spirit that has received in the belly of its mother all metaphysical ideas, and which, leaving that place, is obliged to go to school, and to learn all over again what it already knew, and will not know again. It is not worth the trouble, responded the animal with the height of 8 leagues, for your soul to be knowledgeable in the mother's stomach, only to be so ignorant when you have hair on your chin. What do you understand by the mind? Are you asking me? Said the reasoner. I have no idea. We say that it is not matter, but do you at least know what matter is? Certainly, replied the man. For example, that stone is gray, and has such and such as a form, has 3 dimensions, is heavy and divisible. Well, said the Syrian, this thing that appears to you to be divisible, heavy, and gray, will you tell me what it is? You see some attributes, but behind those, are you familiar with that? No, said the other. So you do not know what matter is. So Micromegas, addressing another sage that he held on a thumb, asked what his soul was and what it did. Nothing at all, said male branchist, I'm gonna say? Nothing else, says the male branchist philosopher. Goa? Oh, God. I think it's supposed to say God, but the 3D model of the page folding is destroying the text or something. God does everything for me. I see everything in him. I do everything in him. It is he who does everything that I get mixed up in. It would be just as well not to exist, retorted the sage of Sirius. And you, my friend, he said to a Leibnizian who was there, what is your soul? It is, answered the Leibnizian, the hand of a clock that tells the time while my body rings out. Or, if you like, it is my soul that rings out while my body tells the time. Or my soul is the mirror of the universe and my body is the border of the mirror. All that is clear. A small partisan of Locke was nearby, and when he was finally given the floor, I do not know, said he, how I think, but I know that I have only ever thought through my senses, that there are immaterial and intelligent substances I do not doubt, but that it is impossible for God to communicate thought to matter I doubt very much. I revere the eternal power. It is not my place to limit it. I affirm nothing, and content myself with believing that many more things are possible than one would think. The animal from Sirius smiled. He did not find this the least bit sage, but the dwarf from Saturn would have kissed the sectarian of Locke, were it not for the extreme disproportion. But there was, unfortunately, a little animalcule in a square hat who interrupted all the other animalcules. What is animalcule? For the philosophers. He said that he knew the secret, that everything would be found in the Summa of St. Thomas. He looked the two celestial inhabitants up and down. He argued that their people, their worlds, their suns, their stars had all been made uniquely for mankind. At this speech, our two voyagers nearly fell over with the inextinguishable laughter which, according to Homer, is shared with the gods. I want to focus on the quote that they found pleasing specifically. I do not know how I think, but I know that I have only ever thought through my senses. That these are immaterial and intelligent substances I do not doubt, but that it is impossible for God to communicate through the matter which I doubt very much. I revere the eternal power. It is not my place to limit it. I affirm nothing, and content myself with believing that many more things are possible than one would think. Just kind of just the general concept of observation and open-mindedness. Definitely would prefer to read this in order, in the actual book, just because I could tell which words at that point probably are being made up by the story or not. Because we're talking about some kind of thing where, like, I think Micromegas is some sort of giant, and their hand is holding a bunch of different people in his hand, but because we're just randomly opening up to a page as opposed to reading it in context, I get confused who's talking sometimes, because, like, I don't know. The author keeps changing what words they use to refer to specific characters, and I don't know how many characters are in the room, and so when the word changes, I don't know if we're talking about a different character or the same character being referred to by a different name, because I'm not really familiar with the characters enough to know what they can be called, because of the fact that we're skipping to random pages like this. Distorting and disorienting. And it makes it so I can't, and I also would want to start Googling stuff as I go to just tell whether certain words are references to stuff from the 1700s or things that I should know from the real world versus words that are made up within the story. Like, when I look at Libditzian and Malebranchist and stuff like that, I don't know if those are real words. But Summa of St. Thomas, that's probably a new thing. What was that? The Big Book of Fuliter? I don't know. This game is full of hard-to-read texts. You're important. Don't know why yet, but you gotta be important. It's his journal. Is that a different thing to... It's got a number next to it. Let's get to that as I get there. November 19th, 2002. The gears are slipping again. I will have to replace them and recalibrate the scope. I just don't have the time. I am nearing the end of my research, and that is simply too important to be spending time, days no doubt, pulling apart and reconstructing this massive scope. Given its age, I'm surprised it's still in working order at all. It's accurate enough for casual stargazing. I can make do with it for now. Gazing through the scope remains my only means of relaxation. As fascinating as my research is, it is also consuming. Up here, with the dome open and the cool night air flowing in, I can put my mind at peace for a time. I can gaze upon distant stars, examine the colors of other worlds, and sail among the stars as the eyes do. Though mortally grounded, I could not ask for a room with a better view. I find, too, that up here my mind is free from the tyranny of my research. My mind these days searches for means of escape from it. When I dream, I often dream of toys and puzzles for the children. For young Clementine, I find myself compelled to create more of them, even now I find myself sketching down notes in this very book. I cannot say why precisely. Certainly it takes time away from my purpose, and the children are not coming back. Yet still I build them. It is an obsession, I suppose. I have read the histories of this place. I have heard the stories from the townsfolk often enough. Perhaps it is true that those who live here do inevitably go mad. Perhaps it is the isolation. More likely the crippling effect of an unanswerable question on the human psyche. The roads to understanding will soon end. I am waiting and ready for answers. And screenshot. Definitely gotta take a picture of that. So now we've got important clues, I think. Let's see, I'm just gonna get this set up real quick. Because now we have this thing, we recognize this as two different things that's been referred to previously, although this particular configuration of things doesn't necessarily make sense to us in the moment. One, we have the Roman numeral. We already had a symbol of the man reaching out towards something that we recognize from the constellation puzzle earlier. It's like we've seen that particular constellation before, so that's not particularly that's not really a new thing right now. But on top of that, there's a Roman numeral of a 3 on that one, and so that was kind of important. So we had the constellation with the number 3. Now we have the switches with the number 4. Sorry, I'm getting a message. The awkwardness of coordinating all the multiplayer stuff is with so much less planned than you would think it would be. Okay, so we have 6 levers. Another configuration of in which to do the levers. And so we recognize both of the components of these 2 different puzzles. One of them is the constellation thing, and one of them is the lever thing, and they're alternate inputs. So we need to find the Roman numerals 1 and 2, maybe even more Roman numerals than those ones, possibly. And then we need to figure out why they have Roman numerals. Do I have to set them in place in a specific order, or just have to have them all set in place, period? Here's number 3. So are the other Roman numerals going to be in this room, by the way? I think there's the same symbols that we had around the cardinal directions of the room near the ceiling that one time. Just gonna click around, keep an eye out. If there's any other notes in the room, I need to find them. Hello. What have I done? Oh! Is this the tower that the children were always trying to find? Bye! Apparently. Is that what you're hoping for this whole time? Is that why they've been following me? No, this one's still here. I'm not sure what they're going for. Alright, there's a bunch of them still following me. I'm being watched by like 4 of them at once. The constant sense of being watched while solving puzzles is really unnerving, I say as the Let's Player that's uploading videos of myself solving puzzles. There we go. Saw you sticking out. Have to find a place to put that in. Telescopic control, enter coordinates. Oh. Okay. So let's see here, those are the only things I can control? Curious. So I assume that if I use this thing, I can pick a specific thing. And then I probably insert those 3 numbers into the computer, right? Probably. In which case... moon, satellite wave, star. Those are the things that are on here, so let's try moon, for starters. So moon is on here. 23, 56, 30. What order do I put them in? Good question. Let's see. 23. You don't go past 30. You don't even go to 30. You do, though, apparently. What about you? You also do. Okay. Well, the middle number is the high one, so I'm gonna guess 23 is you. 56, then 30. Well, aren't you neato? Can I look at it? No clicking, apparently. Is that a constellation over there? Is that Orion's belt or something? I'm terrible with constellations. This almost looks like it could be the Dipper or something. Part of it. What am I going for right now? Have I ever found notes like this before? I'm wondering. Also, he has multiple copies of Micromagus in the same room. So I'm guessing there's like an input you do. Then you press the correct button that matches the input at that point, like... Maybe if I divide my screen into quadrants when I'm looking at this? Maybe. Kind of like that? I don't think I'm on the right track. Well, before I obsess over this one too much, of me not understanding what's going on in here, let's see if I can use the key down here. Are you the key for this? You are. Is this how I get the yellow orb? So I want the constellation. If we're gonna get if it's gonna be constellation shaped, it has to be in the wide view. I'm wondering if maybe I just turn off every single planet. And it's just the... If I turn off every single planet, would it just be then just the orb alone? And then if I zoom out in small mode, it'll be the small version, and then maybe I can just grab it as being the yellow orb I want that we plug into the constellations. I feel like it would maybe spawn right here for me to grab, right? Maybe I have to press all of them instead. The opposite. Almost there. Okay, they're all lit up again. Yeah, so far I don't know if I actually understand the logic of this puzzle. By the time we're done with this game in 999, I'm actually going to start remembering these damn names of these symbols. Okay, we're back to the outer planets again. It gives us the wide view. So if I activate all of the other planets, the inner planets... while maintaining this view, will that return us to that original view we had where the sun was tiny? Now you're tiny. Okay. But I only want the sun, so can I turn them all off now? I don't know if the logic of this place was ever entirely clear, so I'm kind of just going through motions and seeing if things work out. Got you. Okay. And then we want to zoom in on it, right? Because this seems like what I need, both because I used the key to open it up, but also it's the sun without an orbit around it, and that's also what I'm trying to get. And we probably want to get close to it. Oh, what did I do? Is that good? Yes. And so a yellow orb is mine. Good news is, solve the yellow orb. Bad news is, I don't think that helps me at all with puzzles. Pretty sure yellow orbs just go into the constellation screen whenever you find where that is. Which means I don't think I've actually made any progress on what this room means. What are you? Hang on, what the hell? Look at that. Look at that. Look at... Oh, yep, that's familiar. What's on the other side? Is it just a waste bin? That's hard to spot. Crap. Backtracking time towards you? There we go. So the other thing in here is another one of you. Apparently. Okay. Staircases. Well, now that'd make them fit together. Is that what I want? That makes you fit together. Kind of. And those would kind of fit together. The staircases really feel like they're the point, though. Look at those. What does it do, though? Like... Do you do anything to my surroundings? You're still locked. Yeah, whoa. What? That was not a jump cut. That was how the camera works in this game sometimes. Okay, solve that, solve that. What do you do? Like, what is the logic behind you? I just don't see... Do they... Oh. It slides. Well, that gives that away. Okay. Another strange room with another strange radio. It never resolves it. It never reveals anything, but I might as well try anyway.